Hey everyone, this is Organic Dairyman. Today is Thursday, July 12th, and yeah, as you can see, I'm back in the shed again today. It did rain this morning. I had about 3/10 of rain, so obviously I didn't get any soybeans cultivated today because of that. I was hoping it wasn't going to rain. I just feel like lately it's been raining just a little bit every day. I mean, yes, we need some rain, but sometimes it gets kind of annoying when you want to, just get something done and go do it. But anyway, I guess this job has to be done too. So, yeah, so as you can see here, this is the, the main transmission shaft here in the tractor. And I've got, let's go over here. I'm heating up the bearing right now. I have, as you can see in here, in my cooker, my little camping stove thing here, I got the bearing heating up in the oil. So that way I can get the, put that bearing on, and then I can't get that shaft, and I got to get that shaft, and it has to go in right down here on here. So, yeah. So I just really want to get this. Really want to get this thing running again. It hasn't been running. Oh gosh, I think it's been pretty close to a year since I've had this thing. This thing hasn't been running. So, but I guess I've been doing some other things here. I got cleaning up the gasket surfaces, like on here on the first reduction gear cover. Hey, cleaned all that up, and so I'm just getting everything kind of like ready to go. Like, yeah, in case anybody that's watching this and you're not familiar with two cylinders in general, obviously there are two pistons in there. It's a cross mount horizontal engine. The crankshaft, obviously this is the crankshaft. It runs this way, and like instead of like most tractors it runs this way, but in this tractor it runs this way. And the pistons there's two pistons in there. That's kind of how these things work. And the transmission is more like a direct drive transmission, and it goes directly into there, and so you don't have as much of loss of power because you don't have like a bevel and pinion like in most tractors. Like you have a bevel and pinion, these you don't, because of the simple fact that they're cross mount horizontal engines in there. But yeah. So that's heating up, and yeah. Gotta get all of that back together, or we're gonna put all that back in the bottom shaft. Or part of it goes in the bottom shaft. But yeah, and the shaft has the same spot on the other side of the tractor where the thing comes out. Yeah. So. And yeah, so anyways, I gotta take that bearing and put that up on top of here just to make sure I'm doing it right. I have this thing here with an exploded view on there, so it shows me exactly what I need to do, what needs to go on in the proper order. This is the shaft that I'm dealing with. What do they actually call that shaft? Counter shaft. That's what they call that, the counter shaft. So, yeah, so I'm waiting for that to run. Oh, yeah. And everybody probably see this tractor here. This is it's a gasoline two-cylinder. It's a 620. Actually, this tractor, it's been apart since 2004. Yeah, this is the main bearing. The main bearing on this thing went out one time, and I can't find one. I don't know where to get one. You can't get them from John Deere anymore, so I have to look. Maybe try to find a used one, but I haven't really looked. I guess I haven't had the money to finish fixing this thing, so it's been sitting here since like 2004 when I took it apart. I know my brother, he wrote something on it. You can't really see it, but he please fix me before doomsday. So So, oh yeah, I did actually overhaul the engine on here once, but I didn't I just, did the pistons and everything. I didn't do the, because I was saying I couldn't get the bearing. The main bearing was fine when I overhauled it, but it just went out. And there's actually up here, you can see that's the one of the pistons that went in there. So one of the old ones. But yeah. So, anyways, I am going to let that warm up, and I'll get back to you here. So. Okay, I'm back again. The bearing is hot enough now, so I'm gonna put that on. I got everything on here that I needed. So like this is the thrust plate, and this roller or this bearing here needs to go on here first, and hopefully it's gonna slide right on there. That's my plan, anyways. But yeah. None of this stuff doesn't have to go on here. It can go on. It just goes on after that goes on. I got this another bearing here that goes down here, but that doesn't have to go on there. So, yeah. So, I'll just set the camera here. Set you guys over here. Make sure. Sorry about that. Make sure. You guys have a good view of this. Okay, and looks good. So I'll get the bearing. Okay. Oh, that thing is hot. Oh, that thing's right on there. I don't know. It's going. Almost there. I thought the thing would go on there a little easier than that. I need something to stand on. Well, it's hot. Okay, it's not quite there. There we go. It's almost there. I think it is there. Yep. It's there. So yeah, it got it on there. I thought it would maybe go on a little bit easier than that, but I guess it made it on there, and the bearing is still intact. So that's good. Yeah, and at least this shaft, it's got a little bit of, I don't know. I mean, I forgot. I don't know why when they built these they didn't put like a sleeve on there, a wear sleeve, but I guess that was kind of back in the day when they really didn't really think too much about that stuff. But yeah, so that's on. Now I just gotta, I guess, first let that cool down, and then I guess, yeah, then I'll have to get these things back on here. It's a little bit tricky getting that back on there because you got to get a snap ring on there. You got to put everything back together in a certain order. Obviously, if you don't, you're gonna have a problem when they shift gears. It won't do what it's supposed to do. So yeah, yeah. Here's a pony engine I took out of my brother's tractor, or cranking motor. That's what it looks like when it's all the way out. His tractor, his pony engine down there, he just had trouble with it. It just got to the point where it just didn't hardly run anymore. I think it needed to be overhauled. The compression was getting bad. The spark plugs were getting wet all the time, you know. I don't know. It could have been an issue with the carburetor, but I think the compression was getting bad in there. But it's hard to believe that little pony engine there, that cranking motor, little 4-cylinder motor, that costs more to overhaul that than it costs more to overhaul the big engine. So what we did in my brother's tractor, we just took and ordered a, because they did make electric start, these tractors here, the later model ones, like the late model 720s, they put an electric, some of them they put electric cranking motors on them, and you just buy the starter mount, and then you can go buy a starter. We just got a 12-volt semi-starter mounted on there, and then we switched everything over to 12-volt because these are 6-volt systems on here. If they're got a cranking motor, like I was showing you in the other video, we had just got a Delco Remy alternator on there, and the only thing that you got to change to make that 6-volt is the regulator in there. So if you want to, you can swap that regulator out and put a 12-volt in there, and that's what we did with my brothers. I just took the regulator out, and I put a 12-volt in there, regulator. And then obviously the lights too, they're 6 volts. You got to put 12-volt lights in there if you change it over. But my pony engine, it still runs good yet, so we just leave the motor on it because you can get this thing started. That's the primary reason they made these, like in the northern climate, because they start really hard in the winter. But obviously this tractor too, it hasn't had hasn't had any major changes done to it. Some of the newer ones they did. They had changeover kits, but I'll show you the serial number on this thing if I get it wiped off. Good enough here. But yeah, I don't know how well you can see that, but that's the serial number. It's serial number 720-651-6. So my brother's tractor, his is like, I don't remember what number it is. His is new, higher up than that, and it's still an older model. I think this is like, this is like a 57 because they started producing it, but it's like an early. This one might be like an early 57 model, but it still has the old. If there's anybody that's watching this that knows anything about 2-cylinders, they know that the early 720s have a different camshaft in there. The timing of the injection pump is different. The timing on the injection pump on these, obviously, like I say, it's different from like the late model 720s to the early ones. And what they had is they had trouble with these. Like when you do about kill the track, you pull the clutch back. all of a sudden the engine would run in reverse, so the exhaust would become the intake, and the intake would become the exhaust, and then they have those oil bath air breathers, so it started spitting oil up out of the top. So in order to do that, when they came out with the newer ones, they changed the timing of the camshaft a little bit for the injector pump. They delayed the timing, or when the injector pumps fill up. On these, they always preload right away. As soon as it fires, it fills back up again. On the newer model 720s, they changed it so that the injector pumps fire, or they fill up, they prime just before they inject the fuel into the combustion chamber. So, but I could tell my brother, he had a conversion kit put in his. They converted his all over to the new style. You can buy those conversion kits, but I can always tell my tractor here has more horse, a little bit more snuff to it than his does with the old ones. So if you have one of these, don't change them over, because you will lose, I think, a little bit of power doing it. The other thing too is the transfer pump here. You have to increase the pressure of that if you put the changeover kit, but I could have done it on this, but I didn't want to. It would just cost so much money. I could have put a different crankshaft in here. I've had this crankshaft out before. Actually, it broke off one time, so so I had to put a different used crankshaft in here. It is a job to do it, but I wouldn't want to do it again. It's kind of a big job, but anyways, I've been yammering on here long enough, but I'll try to keep you guys posted on the progress of this tractor. Obviously right now it's getting to be the end of the day, and I was just waiting for those bearings. They came in later this afternoon, so that was all I was able to get done. So I got to start evening chores here, so I am going to try to keep you guys posted on the progress on this thing. But anyways, I just want to thank everybody for watching. Please check out all my other videos. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. And I guess, oh yeah, check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Organic Dairyman. And if it rains tonight, I won't be cultivating. I'll be working on this again. If it doesn't rain, I'll be out cultivating soybeans tomorrow. So I might not be working on this Friday, tomorrow. When this video gets posted, it'll be Friday, so I won't be, I might be cultivating, I might not. Depends on what the weather does. So anyways, like I said, thanks for watching, and I will catch you later.